Hello everyone, this is Subhash. Welcome to Social Studies. In today's video, we are going to learn another new topic, that is sustainable development with equity. It's a 11th chapter. Okay. So the first we will discuss primary details of this topic. Okay. So what is GDP and what is HDI? So already you have learned in previous chapters, GDP shows final value of goods and service, and HDI shows social indicators like education, health and malnutrition, etc. So as per GDP, development means here national income or income of the country, and as per HDI, development means improvement of social indicators like education, health, malnutrition. Okay, so here given a graph. Here it shows, this graph shows distribution of households in India based on annual income. Okay, so here households means families. Okay, so how much income, let's know how much income households are getting per annum. Okay, so the 3 million households above 17 lakhs income, those are called rich. Okay, and 31 million households are middle class, those who are getting income between 3.4 to 17 lakhs. Okay, and then whose income between 1.5 lakh to 3.4 lakhs, those are called under middle class. Here aspire means under middle class. 17 million households are under middle class, and those who are getting income below 1.5 lakh, they are classified deprived. Deprived means here poor families, poor households. Okay, so here 135 million households are poor. So it clearly shows that there are number of poor people in India. So India is called, since decades, India is called developing country because there are number of poor people in India. As per 2010 survey, there are 135 million households are poor, deprived. Okay. So then in this chapter we will explore relationship between development, environment and people. So that means here people's development depends on environment. Okay, so we have seen how the environment resources have been used up and damaged by the name of development, like deforestation, soil erosion, overusing fossil fuels. Fossil fuels means like diesel, oil, petrol. Okay, and then chemicals, pesticides, etc., etc. So we should know the first, what is environment. Okay, so simply means here environment. What is environment here? Simply means surroundings, all surroundings that what we have. So it can be living or non-living things. So it's called environment. So and then what are the natural resources? Here natural resources are the resources that exist without any action of humankind. That means they are naturally formed, not by humankind. Okay, please remember here the natural resources are formed naturally. They are naturally formed, not by human. Okay, so example here, what are the natural resources? For example here, air, water, soil. Soil means here land, and sunlight, and then animals, birds, fish and trees, and then oil, coal, natural gas, metal, stone stand as well. Okay, so all of these are called natural resources, and all of these are resources part of the environment. Okay, and environment here has some duties. Environment has some duties. So what are the duties here? One is environment source function, and another one is environment's sink function. So let's see first what is an environment source function. So the potential of an environment to provide the natural resources. That means it gives resources continuously for us. Here the natural, that means environment, gives resources continuously for us. It's a continuous process. Okay, so it's called environment source function. And then what is sink function? That means here the ability of environment to observe that what we have produced here, like pollution and waste product. Waste product means here garbage, wastage. Okay, so ability means here capacity or strength or energy, whatever. Okay, so here environment has some limits of its ability or capacity. If we produce low scale of pollution and wastage, it's not possible for environment to observe them or to clean them. So environment can't do its duty properly because it has some limits. It can't do beyond its limits. For example, a person can lift 50 kgs of weight. 50 kgs of weight a person can lift, but 100 kgs he can't lift because the weight, it's beyond his ability or capacity. So the person, he cannot, because it is beyond his ability. So here same condition applies to the environment. So environment has been damaging badly by the name of development. And then what is sustainable development? Okay, so let's see here what is sustainable development. So definition here, sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So here meet means here fulfill or satisfy. Okay, so generally we shall have a number of needs, number of wishes, మనకు ఎన్నో అవసరాలు ఉంటాయి. Okay, so we have to fulfill them, of course, no doubt at all. We have to fulfill them. మన అవసరాలని తీర్చుకోవాలి ఖచ్చితంగా, no doubt at all, అందులో ఎలాంటి సందేహం ఉండదు. ఓకే, సో బట్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ యూజింగ్, మనం ఉపయోగించే క్రమంలో we do not destroy them or dismantle them. Okay, because the natural resources are not only for present generation, that means not only this generation, present generation, but also future generation. So we don't have a right to dismantle them. So do not use more than necessity. Understand? So we should use them very carefully. Natural resources, okay, we should use them very carefully and should not be used completely to the end. అంటే పూర్తిగా అంతరించిపోయేంత వరకు కూడా సహజ వనరులు, న్యాచురల్ రిసోర్స్ని మనం కంప్లీట్గా వాడుకోకూడదు. దట్ మీన్స్ వీ షుడ్ యూజ్ దెమ్ వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్లీ, జాగ్రత్తగా వినియోగించుకోవాలి. బికాస్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద న్యాచురల్ రిసోర్సెస్ ఆర్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ప్రజెంట్ జనరేషన్ బట్ ఆల్సో ఫ్యూచర్ జనరేషన్. అంటే ఇప్పటి తరాలకే కాకుండా భవిష్యత్ తరాలకు కూడా సహజ వనరులు అనేది అవసరం. వాడుకోవడానికి వారికి కూడా హక్కు ఉంది. వి హ్యావ్ ఎ రైట్ అండ్ ఆల్సో దే హ్యావ్ ఎ రైట్ టు యూటిలైజ్ ద న్యాచురల్ రిసోర్సెస్. ఓకే, ఇన్ అదర్ వర్డ్స్ హియర్, quantity of life for everyone, present and future generation. Okay, so this is called sustainable development. Okay, so in the past 50 years of economy development, environment has been overused by the name of development. అభివృద్ధి పేరుతో చాలా వరకు పర్యావరణాన్ని మనం విపరీతంగా వాడేస్తాం. ఓకే, సో ద 50 years ago the people used to open wells. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం 50 సంవత్సరాలకు వెనక్కి వెళ్తే 50 years ago the people used to open wells, అంటే పెద్ద పెద్ద బావులను ఉపయోగించేవాళ్ళు ఫర్ డ్రింకింగ్ అండ్ ఫర్ ఇరిగేషన్, వ్యవసాయానికి కావచ్చు, అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం త్రాగునీరు కావచ్చు. ఫర్ డ్రింకింగ్ అండ్ ఫర్ ఇరిగేషన్ దే యూజ్డ్ ఓపెన్ వెల్స్, అంటే బావుల్ని పెద్ద పెద్ద బావులు కావచ్చు లేకపోతే చిన్న బావులు కావచ్చు ఉపయోగించేవాళ్ళు. and irrigation means for here crops పంటలకి. Okay, so for 2 or 3 acres ఇక్కడ కేవలం లిమిటెడ్ ఇరిగేషన్కి మాత్రమే, లిమిటెడ్ వాటర్ మాత్రమే వాళ్ళు యూజ్ చేసుకునేది త్రూ ఓపెన్ వెల్స్. ఓకే, సో బట్ గ్రాడ్యువలీ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ హియర్, గ్రాడ్యువలీ ద న్యూ ఎనర్జీ రిసోర్సెస్ కేమ్ అప్ లైక్ petrol or diesel motor pump sets. So the people were changed. That means the people were moved to bore wells and tube wells. Nowadays we are using many bore wells and tube wells. Okay, for drinking and irrigation. So here the people moved to bore wells and tube wells. Then here because why they moved to bore wells means here because tube wells are very easy to extract the water. But what happened here, as a result water table started going down. భూగర్భ జలాలు అనేది పూర్తిగా అడుక్కుపోవడం జరిగింది because of using motor pumps. Okay, so in the past we can get water from 10 to 15 feet deep. Some 25 or 30 or 50 years ago we can get the water from only 10 to 15 feet. కేవలం 10-15 అడుగుల లోతులు మనం డిగ్ చేయగానే ఇమ్మీడియట్గా we can get the water. Okay, but now we can get water from 100 feet depth. 100 ఫీట్ల కంటే ఎక్కువ డిగ్ చేస్తే తప్ప we cannot get the water right now because we overused of water. Okay, so if you want to take out them or if you want to extract, so first it has to go down. First, that means the water has go to the ground. It's called recharge. మనం వాటర్ తీసుకోవాలంటే ఏం కావాలి, ఫస్ట్ if we want to take out the water, first it has to go down. It has go to down. Percolate, that means నీరు అనేది భూగర్భంలోకి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి కదా first. So it's called recharge, groundwater recharge. It's called groundwater recharge. So 300 districts here, the 300 districts report says that water level declined for 4 meters. దాదాపు 4 మీటర్ల లోతు వరకు భూగర్భ జలం అనేది లోపలికి పోయింది, ఇంకిపోయింది because of overusing groundwater for drinking or irrigation, whatever. Okay, so particularly in Punjab and UP and South India also, that means overusing groundwater, especially in Punjab, UP and South India also. So that's why groundwater has been falling to lower and lower level very rapidly. That means very fast, very speed గా భూగర్భ జలాలు అనేది కిందికి పోతూ ఉంది, అంటే తగ్గిపోతూ ఉన్నాయి వాటర్ అనేది కంప్లీట్గా. సో here the water and also water quality also declining in 59% of districts of India. Water quantity కూడా కంప్లీట్లీగా చేంజ్ అయిపోయింది because overusing groundwater. Okay, so water here, the 59% of districts of India, the water quality also declining. Water from hand pumps and wells is unsafe for drinking. That means number of places the government already announced that hand pumps and wells is unsafe for drinking. Okay, so moreover water polluting by the pesticides which are being used for crops. The farmers use pesticides, chemicals for their crops. Okay, so that's why here the water also polluting by the pesticides. So like here DDT, Endosulfone, urea, etc. DDT means diphenyl trichloroethane. Okay, DDT means diphenyl trichloroethane. So this kind of pesticides are using by the farmers. So the pesticides an important component for agriculture. The people are, that means the farmer are using these pesticides because pesticides an important component for agriculture to protect the crop. But its impact and environment, especially on birds, on human beings, especially birds and human beings. Pesticides do not compose from the environment Do not compose means here మనం ఏదైతే పెస్టిసైడ్ DDT ఆర్ ఎండోసల్ఫాన్ ఏదైతే మనం స్ప్రే చేస్తామో ఫర్ క్రాప్స్ కోసం అది పూర్తిగా మెల్ట్ అయిపోదు. డీకంపోజ్ మీన్స్ డు నాట్ మెల్ట్ కంప్లీట్లీ. But then what will happen here? But instead accumulate inside living organism. Pesticides melt in the water and deposited in fishes. ఇక్కడ పెస్టిసైడ్ ఏమవుతుంది వాటర్లో మెల్ట్ అవుతుంది and then it deposited in fishes. So the fish cannot be killed by this because small quantity. So fish cannot be killed by this quantity, but a bird eats several fishes. The combined dose of the chemical inside the fishes enough to kill the birds. ఎప్పుడైతే any bird if eats many fishes, several fishes, ఎక్కువ చేపలు కనుక ఒక పక్షి తింటే it will kill the birds. The chemical can kill the birds. అది ఓవర్ డోస్ అయిపోతుంది. ఓకే, సో the Rachel Carson, she was the writer of the book Silent Spring. So here the Rachel Carson wrote a book. The book name was Silent Spring. So in his book she was clearly explained about DDT. That means about chemical fertilizers, DDT or endosulfone and etc. So she was clearly explained how the environment has been damaging by the pesticides. Okay, so and the next another one, endosulfone. So in 1976 Kerala government sprayed endosulfone to protect cashew crops. Cashew crop means here mango crops. Okay, so here the government spread about 15,000 across. So this treatment was continued for 25 years. So this was happened in Kasaragod district, Kerala. This incident was happened in Kasaragod district, Kerala. Okay, so as a result 5,000 people were died and many others suffered with cancer and different health issues because the entire environment was polluted by the pesticides. So after some years endosulfone has been banned by a court order and many countries have banned these dangerous pesticides, endosulfone, DDT and other chemicals. Okay, chemical pesticides already many countries have banned. So here the people have right to protect the environment. Okay, so let's see another issue, people's right over the environment. So here we'll discuss about Narmada Valley Development Project. NVDP means Narmada Valley Development Project, and that means here about Sardar Sarovar Dam and also about Jalasandhi village. Okay, so the Narmada Valley Development Project is the single largest river development scheme in India. It is one of the largest hydroelectric project in the world. This dam construction started in 1992 on the Narmada river in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, it's a multi-purpose project. That means here multi-purpose project means here that it generate power, provide irrigation and help flood control. So that's why it's called a multi-purpose dam. Okay, it's very dangerous to the environment. Of course it's a development, but it's a very dangerous to the environment if anything will happen for the dam. ఒకవేళ డ్యామ్ కనుక ఏదైనా జరిగితే అది చాలా ప్రమాదకరమైంది. It's very dangerous to the environment if anything will happen in the future. Okay, so here it was very dangerous. Then the 3,000 large and small dams. This project will destroy the environment and human life. So that's why here Jalasandhi and other village people started agitation, that means protest against the Narmada river project. It's called Narmada Bachao Andolan movement. So here in this Narmada Bachao Andolan movement, a person played a key role. The person name is Medha Patkar. Okay, so Jalsandhi village and Baba Mahalia. What was the issue? Here we'll discuss Jalsandhi village and Baba Mahalia between the Narmada Valley Development Project. So what was the issue here? Jalsandhi is a village of Jhabua district in Madhya Pradesh. Baba Mahalia belonged to Jalsandhi, which is on the bank river Narmada. So Baba Mahalia, he belonged to Jalsandhi village. So here when the government decided to construct the Sardar Sarovar Dam, so the government asked the villagers to leave the place and move to the plains of Gujarat. ఈ ప్రదేశాన్ని ఖాళీ చేసి మీరు గుజరాత్ మైదానాలకు వెళ్ళండి అని చెప్పడం జరిగింది. ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఆస్ ద విలేజర్స్ టు లీవ్ ద ప్లేస్ బికాస్ జల్సంధి ఇట్ వుడ్ బి ద ఫస్ట్ విలేజ్ ఇన్ ద మధ్యప్రదేశ్ టు బి సబ్మర్జ్డ్. ఒకవేళ ఏదైనా జరిగితే మొదటగా ముంపునకు గురయ్యేది జలసంధి విలేజ్. సో దాట్స్ వై ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఆస్ ద విలేజర్స్ టు లీవ్ దట్ ప్లేస్. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ వై ద గవర్నమెంట్ కాషన్డ్ దెమ్. But people of Jalsandhi refused. So in this situation, Baba Mahalia wrote a letter to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. So at the time, Chief Minister Digvijay Singh, here during this time, who was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh means here Digvijay Singh. Okay, so let's see what he explained in this letter, in his letter. So during this time, already I told you Digvijay Singh was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, and here we'll see here what he explained in his letter. We have lived here for generation. That means he said in his letter, we have lived here for generation. Our ancestors cleared the forest, worshipped gods, improved the soil and settled in villages. We have a right to live in this village. We are farmers. We earn టిల్లింగ్ ద ఎర్త్, అంటే మేము నేలను దున్ని బ్రతికే వాళ్ళమని చెప్తున్నాడు. ఓకే, సో వి ఆర్ టిల్లింగ్ ద ఎర్త్. వి గ్రో సో మెనీ డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్. వీ హ్యావ్ నో యూజ్ ఫర్ మనీ. వీ యూజ్ అవర్ ఓన్ నీడ్స్. సో నో వన్ హ్యాస్ ఎ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాండ్ బట్ ఎవ్రీ వన్ హ్యాస్ ఎ లిటిల్ బిట్. అంటే అందరికీ భూమి ఉంది కానీ చాలా తక్కువ ఉంది, కానీ అందరికీ ఉంది. ఎవ్రీ వన్ హ్యాస్ ఎ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాండ్. Our village gods are all here. Our ancestors' memorial stones are all here. We worship Kalo, Rano and Raja Panto Indi Raja. That means the god's name. All of these names are god's names. They're god's names. Okay, Kalo, Rano, Raja Panto Indi Raja. So he said, we won't leave this place. The land in Gujarat is not acceptable to us. We were born from the belly of Narmada. We are not afraid to die in her lap. We will drown but will not move. We will drown but will not move. We will drown means మేము ముంపిన గురైనా కూడా మేము పట్టించుకోము. We will drown మునిగిపోతాం కానీ but will not move, కానీ ఇక్కడ నుంచి మేము కదలము అనేది it is the information of the letter. Okay, so he explained about the culture and tradition and relationship between nature and Jalsandhi village. Okay, so due to Sardar Sarovar Dam, thousands of people lost their lives and livelihood. అంటే చాలామంది జీవితాలను కోల్పోవడం జరిగింది, జీవనోపాధిని కూడా కోల్పోవడం జరిగింది because of Sardar Sarovar Dam. Okay, so of course it's a part of a development, but poor people are affected by this kind of development programs. Okay, especially poor people, especially tribals, those who depend on the nature for livelihood. So due to this, not only people dislocated but also biodiversity and traditional knowledge will disappear. People like Baba Mahalia have a traditional knowledge. They know about each and every plant and tree. That means Ayurveda medicine, he know. So here fact is environment endangered in multiple ways. So that's why people started social movement against the government. So that's why the people started social movement. It's called Narmada Bachao Andolan. So Here already I told you, the person played key role in this movement. The person name was Meda Patka. And the next, Chipko Moment. Chipko Moment, it is also one of the environmental movement. It was started in the early 1970s in the Garhwal Himalayas of Uttarakhand by Sundarlal Bahuguna. This movement started by the Sundarlal Bahuguna, Chipko Movement. Okay, that means Chipko Movement. Chipko means here embrace or hug. The villagers hug the trees to protect them from the tree cutters. This movement inspired many people. So here the motto is to save trees from cutters. It is the main motto. Chipko Movement was started by Sundarlal Bahuguna. And here we'll discuss some issues about the sustainable development with equity. So here policymakers have ignored the environmental issues. India economy has need to grow because India is developing country. So that's why India economy has need to grow. Okay. So development has to be achieved at any cost. Elagana sare abhivruddhi sadhinchali. Okay. Have to use, because we have to use natural resources for development of agriculture and industry. But it is led to environment pollution. Somebody think that pollution and environmental degradation can be handled. Ante మనం after the development అభివృద్ధి చెందిన తర్వాత మనం హ్యాండిల్ చేయొచ్చు, దీన్ని మళ్ళీ తర్వాత రీసెట్ చేయొచ్చు, పొల్యూషన్ ఆర్ వేస్టేజ్ ఎనీథింగ్ అనేది చాలా మంది ఆలోచన. somebody think like that. Okay, but here environment has already degraded a lot. We are not in a position to correcting the environment does not happen after the development. It's not possible. So it is not right approach to leave the destroy the natural resources for the future generation. భవిష్యత్ తరాలకి మనం ఇలా సహజ వనరులను పూర్తిగా నాశనం చేసి వాళ్ళకి అందించడం అనేది ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ ప్రాపర్ వే, ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ రైట్ వే. We are already experiencing, okay, the problem of groundwater. We already experienced the problem of groundwater and pesticide by the name of development. So the destroy the environment means to destroy these communities. అంటే మనం ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేయడం అంటే దాదాపు సముదాయాలని మనం నాశనం చేసినట్టే లెక్క ఇక్కడ. హియర్ సో అఫ్ కోర్స్ దిస్ డజంట్ మీన్ దట్ వి డు నాట్ ప్రోగ్రెస్, అంటే మనం అభివృద్ధి చెందకూడదు అనేది కాదు. వి డు నాట్ ప్రోగ్రెస్, ఇట్ డజంట్ మీన్ దట్. ఓకే, but environmental issues should be taken into consideration along with progress. The court has given a number of judgments to protect the fundamental rights, that is right to life, జీవించే హక్కు. In 1991, Supreme Court has given judgment that according to Article 21 of the Constitution, people have the right to pollution free water and for ఫుల్ ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ లైఫ్. ఓకే, అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎలాంటి కాలుష్యం లేని వాతావరణం మరియు నీరును పొందే హక్కు. ఓకే, సో ఎవరు చేయాలి? ఇట్ షుడ్ బి డన్ బై ద గవర్నమెంట్. సో ఇట్స్ ఎ గవర్నమెంట్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ టు మేక్ పాలసీస్ అండ్ లాస్ టు ప్రివెంట్ ద పొల్యూషన్. అండ్ యాజ్ వెల్ Supreme Court has given a judgment that public transport vehicles should be switched from diesel to CNG. CNG means here compressed natural gas. So that means have to change from diesel to CNG. So here CNG, it produces very less pollution than petrol and diesel. Okay, so as a result pollution came down in Delhi and other cities. Many countries have tried to reach collective decisions on climate change issues. So here it's not possible with one or two countries. ఇది ఒకటి రెండు దేశాలతో సాధ్యమయ్యే పని కాదు. So all nations must come together and make decision together. Then only solution will find out. Okay, and here the farmers also have the responsibility to prevent the pollution. Okay, so how? So let's see here. They should move organic farming, organic products. So here organic farming means సేంద్రియ వ్యవసాయం, అంటే వితౌట్ యూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ కెమికల్ ఫెర్టిలైజర్స్ అండ్ పెస్టిసైడ్స్. means only biofertilizers are used in this organic farming. సో ఇక్కడ హియర్ బయోఫెర్టిలైజర్స్ మీన్స్ వేస్టేజ్ విచ్ all comes from animals and plants. అంటే జంతువులు మరియు మొక్కల నుండి వచ్చే వ్యర్థాలను ఎరువుగా వాడుతూ చేసే వ్యవసాయాన్ని మనం ఆర్గానిక్ ఫార్మింగ్ అంటాం. ఓకే. And also should maintain crop rotation. Rotation means, already I told you, do not maintain same crop over years. Okay, should be changed every year. And here Sikkim state is already very forward looking in this method and ban the chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So it is the first state in India. Sikkim wanted to shift completely to organic farming by 2015. So the Sikkim is the first state. Already the Sikkim started organic farming. Okay. And Uttarakhand also following the same path. Uttarakhand kuda Sikkim vidhananne ikkada follow avutundi. Okay. So this is the information about 11th chapter, sustainable development with equity. And let's stop here and we will meet in the next video with a new topic. Until then, bye.